I'd like to call this meeting to order. Can we please have roll call, please?
Yes, sir. Hector J. Garcia. Rolando Cázares.
Here.
Cindy E. Cantu.
Here.
Michael Barron.
Here.
Mercurio Martinez.
Here.
John D. Beckenheimer.
He's here in the back.
Regina Portillo. Daniela Sada Paz.
On her way.
Okay, and Adolfo G. Martinez.
Here.
For the record, you do have a quorum.
Can we all please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God,
one and indivisible. Amen.
Next item is
Good.
the approval of minutes for the regular meeting of June 18th.
Motion to approve meetings of June 18th, 2026.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Next item is item number 6, citizen comments.
We have none here.
No comments for today. Item number 7 is the public hearing and the recommendation of amending the zoning ordinance map of the city of Laredo, authorizing the issuance of a PUD, a planned unit development for the apartments of approximately 3.08 acre tract of land, as further described in the meets and bounds in the Exhibit A. This is located at Cerralvo Drive and west of Riverbank Drive from R1 to R2 PUD.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. For the record, the applicant is Deerfield Land Development LC. The owners is Madhouse Development Inc. As the applicant, Melissa Flores is the representative. The property description is 3.08 acre tract of land located south of Cerralvo Drive and west of Riverbank Drive. The zone change request is from an R1A to an R2 PUD. The proposed use is for multifamily residential apartments. The applicant is requesting approval of the plan unit development overlay to facilitate a variance from the standard parking requirements. The applicant proposes 111 parking spaces where 150 spaces will otherwise be required for the proposed 72-unit multifamily development. The request modification is intended to address the site-specific constraints, including floodplain areas and limited developable land, while allowing the project to maintain open space, landscaping, pedestrian circulation, and resident amenities. Letters for sent were 25. We have inside the 200-foot, 4-0 against 1, and outside the 200-foot radius is 4-0 against 1. Location view, aerial view, street view, zoning overview, future land use, staff recommendations, staff supports, continuation, and the proposed motion. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, this is a public hearing. Since the public hearing, I'd like to open the public hearing and ask if there's anyone here who would like to speak in favor of this item. In favor of this item? Is there anyone here that would like to speak against this item? Against? Any questions for staff? What are the wishes of the commission?
Motion to approve the zone change.
Close the public hearing and
And close public hearing.
second.
Motion to approve, close the public hearing and approve. There's a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
It's a PUD, just, I know you said approval of the zone change.
Oh, yes.
So I guess you can
Yeah,
amend
let
your
me
motion for a plan
redo
unit.
it, I'm sorry. Motion to approve the PUD.
And I accept the amended.
An exception, yeah.
A motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. The next item is a consideration of the following master plan. Item 8A, this is the codes at the Winfield Master Plan.
I'm sorry, let me go back. You realize that the staff recommendation on the, says zone change, support zone change, if you go to, that's why my initial comment was probably, and so that needs to be as an action item on the minutes, I think the staff recommendation said support the proposed zone change.
You're correct, so we'll
Okay.
correct it.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. So the next item is item 8A, and this is the codes. And I understand this is the revision to reconfigure lot layouts and amend the proposed land uses. The intent is residential, commercial, and institutional.
Yes, sir. The applicant is Charco Land Sales Engineers, Mesquite Engineering. The proposed use is residential, commercial, and institutional. The current zoning for this development is R1, R2, B3, and B4. The location view, aerial view, the current plan, is the master plan that was approved in March 16 of 2023, and the master plan revision submitted. Comments planning. Comments 3 to 6. Comments 7 to 11. Parks. And traffic safety. Comments 3 to 8. And the proposed motion.
Thank you. Yes, sir. Your name for the record, sir.
Mr. Chairman, Orlando Navarro for the record.
sir.
And, we are, making a change. We had a proposed school, that was gonna go in this location. They didn't, accept the offer, so we're changing this to residential. And we're bringing, you'll see a plat coming in where we've done residential. So that's the change that we're doing to the master plan. The only other comment that I have is, I was talking to staff about some of these comments that I feel are for the plats and should be their one-stop shop issues that need to be addressed at one-stop shop, but they were put on the master plan. To me, it's just, it'll make it confusing, but I just want to say that, but we did talk to staff and they're gonna review the comments in the future, so hopefully that, you know, the ones that should be master plan comments are there, the ones that are plat comments should stay with the plat. That's the only issue.
Okay, what are the wishes of the commission?
Motion to, accept the, master plan.
Second. There's a motion to accept the master plan as is. There's a
With
second.
staff recommendation.
The staff recommendations, and there's a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. The next item is item 8B, review and consideration of the River Point subdivision master plan. The intent is multifamily and commercial.
Yes, sir. The applicant, for the record, is 3R3 LLC, Engineer Surf Engineering. Proposes is residential and commercial. The current zoning for this development is AG and B3. Location view. Aerial view. The proposed master plan exhibit. Staff comments planning, comments 1 to 2. 3 to 6. Next are parks and fire. The next is traffic safety. Comments 4 to 4. Comments 5 to 6. And the proposed motion.
Okay. Yes, sir?
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the commission, or Madam Chair, who just, I saw walk in the door. I'm gonna hand out a packet here for everybody to see. Mr. Wires, I'll let him go ahead and get started.
Hello, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners. Danny Wires for the record. I just wanted to give you a little background on the tract and what we're determined to do, and that's affordable housing. And the unique characteristics of this tract. For several years, in fact, my entire career, I've always looked for tracts of land that we can take care of the lower half, and now it's the lower 80% of Laredoans that are looking for houses. Well, this track, by fate or, I first offered to buy the Richter farm from their grandfather 40 years ago. And the Richters are very, of course, proud of their farm and, hard to deal with. And the last November, the opportunity to buy it came up, through months of negotiation on prices. We came to, a number that would work solely for the purpose of affordable housing. And the reason it works is, it's has very low development costs, no detention ponds, very little lot grading. It has the benefit of having Masterson Road already constructed, because when you're trying to do these, affordable subdivisions, in fact, we haven't really done one successfully since the start of Quail Creek, in the 90s, is how long Laredo has been without an affordable product. But Masterson helps, and then the cherry on the Sunday was, after we were already in it, we found out the tract is in a qualified census zone, which is perfectly set for affordable housing. That means these people, we've already confirmed it with the headquarters in Houston, these people will all qualify for below market, 30-year fixed rate financing, which we used a lot in the 90s, the Texas Bond Program money. And they also qualify for up to $15,000 of down payment assistance, which is a huge assistance. That means the city doesn't have to use up any of our UDAG money for down payment assistance. So everything came together to make this thing happen. And we're here, Frank's gonna work through the line item by line item. The staff was gracious enough to spend 2 hours. Probably told them more stories than they wanted to hear, but, this morning. But, so we're working towards, understanding. My biggest point, and we knew it was gonna be a comment when we bought the track, is connecting to Rock Rose, from River Hills. It's just a residential street, and normally it wouldn't be that big a deal, but when Frank goes through his deal, you'll see that, it crosses our park area, and underground drainage. And when you cross a underground drainage pipe, then the costs skyrocket with having to put in concrete culverts or barrels, head walls. And so all of a sudden you've got, that little section of street is now $200,000 before in the engineering cost. And it also costs us a couple of lots. And the impact on that is right at $800 a lot. And that doesn't sound like much, but you got to bring these lots in affordably so we can have affordable housing. Every penny counts. And so what $800 means, that means a $4,000 increase in the price of the home using the regular FHA multiplier. And that again doesn't sound like a lot of money, but having spent years qualifying these people, the lower end, every $1,000 matters. And you'll see it when you jump from 5,000, you lose customers. You jump $10,000 in the home price, you literally lose thousands of customers. These people only make so much money, and normally don't have access like people in the north to a rich aunt or someone that gives them a bigger down payment to qualify. So we're up with this limit on us, and I just want to put that in everybody's head that that's the reason Frank and I are here today. So he'll go through the line items with you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Good evening. Once again, Frank Estrada with Sherfy Engineering. To start with the comments. The comments that we have concerns over are comments 1 and 2 from the planning department, which I will discuss right now. But to go through the remainder of the comments, we agree, we concur with the rest of the comments that are on there, minus the same concerns that Mr. Navarro had with the traffic comments that were here. Some of them that are there don't seem to pertain to the master plan. Some of them belong with the preliminary plat. For that matter, there was a comment number 2 under traffic, where she requests a TIA for us to put together. The TIA references the land development section 24.628. That is for annexations. We are not annexing. We're coming through with a master plan. We're coming through with a preliminary plat. So we just feel like the TIA was just a little too much. We did pursue a TIA because there is some commercial frontage, and the developer did pursue it. So we have some exhibits to show you here in regards to comments 1 and 2 that they provided to us. But as far as the comments on the traffic, it seems like sometimes they go a little overboard, and we get stuck here having to explain them. And it gets a little difficult because you guys are seeing them and you figure they're coming pertaining to the actual project, and really there's no relevance to them as far as even asking for any sort of variance to block links or anything like that. That's something that most of the time the planning department falls upon, and we see them here, and it's confusing. It's confusing to us, and I'm sure it's confusing to you.
Can you repeat that traffic comment, please?
Traffic comment is traffic comment number 2.
Got it.
But if you look at most of the comments on there, for instance, the 1,200 feet, I mean, when we met with staff this morning, we talked about that, and.
Frank,
the-
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
So, give me a second. Is there anyone here from traffic that can explain to us these comments? Or staff? Can you all tell us why they, like,
Traffic's comments? To
Yes.
explain traffic's comments?
yes?
It appears to be just exactly coming out of the land development code. I mean, the subdivision ordinance.
But are they supposed to be here for this master plan? They're supposed to be for the preliminary plan?
I mean, all the rules pertain to all
All of them.
all properties to be developed, right? Does those comments pertain to this project? Maybe not. It does not appear that the TIA requirement, if it is true that she got it out of the section regarding annexations, it may not pertain to this one. So, but again, that's, the question, the answer to your first question is no.
No.
Got it.
There is no one here from traffic.
Right. I'm sorry, Frank, go ahead. You were talking about A, right? About block links?
Well, we were correct. We went into the traffic, and just to give you an example, there's comments of 1,200 foot in length. As far as block lengths, there's 300 feet. There's asking for waivers and asking for traffic impact mitigation. Yes, those are things that we do, and we have to do, and we have to submit to the planning department when we move forward. But the planning department did not see it necessary to comment on any one of our block links. Maybe other comments that we'll discuss here right now. But it's something that, we see them on there, and you see them, and then if we just sit here and we don't say anything, then in turn, we're happy to answer this at the one-stop shop to her. But in all reality, this is something that is not something that we should have to answer to right here, right now. Any sort of mitigation, traffic mitigation, we will take care of the one-stop shop. And that gets done at that point. But it's not something that we come forward and show to the commission. We show it there, they approve it, and then we move forward with getting the final plat approval. And it just seems like something that we're seeing these comments on here a little more often, and it's just sometimes hard to explain to you. And I think that's kind of why Mr. Navarro mentioned it, and I'm just kind of reiterating what he said. Maybe getting a little too far into it. But it's one of those things that it just seems like they don't need to be on there.
Right.
I want to say something.
Yes.
I think these comments, since last time, maybe there's someone new in that department and is trying to set certain things that may not apply in this particular, place. Because when you go to the one-stop shop, that's where you address all of these
Yes, ma'am.
items, right?
Yes, ma'am, that is
So
correct.
you're just trying to understand why they put them now when they weren't put before.
And if we need to answer some questions that are valid, I completely understand. But some of these things that is, I mean, like I mentioned, typically it's something that the planning department will tell us ahead of time. You guys did not send in a request for the extra street length that you got, or something to that effect, or we've got a cul-de-sac that's too long. You didn't ask for a request for variance, little things like that we don't see, or that they call out to our attention if something that we miss, and you don't see that here, but yet it's still being commented inside the traffic area when it hasn't been commented on the planning side.
Or you don't have a block length more than 1,200 feet or less than.
We have a north, if you look at the master plan, I don't know if we can pull it up, or if you want me just to lay it out here on.
I think we,
Pull it up. The very north road is probably about 1,700 feet in length, but it is broken up by intersections. And that's kind of why I guess staff felt that there was not a need to make that comment, and maybe that's where she's falling. But when traffic staff isn't here, it's kind of hard to get that answer.
Claro.
And then we're having to explain it to you when we're asking you to remove it from the agenda, from the comments.
Yeah.
So, just a comment. I just wanted to reiterate kind of what Mr. Novato did, but I think I got too far into it, because I still got these two other things I want to talk about.
Okay.
So, just in reference to that, I just wanted to let you know. The one thing, as far as planning goes, we agree with all the rest of the comments except for comments number 1 and 2. Comment number 1 is referencing the extension of Rock Rose Drive, located along the northern boundary of the subdivision. So, if I can get this show up.
Yeah.
All right, let's see, where am I?
yeah, like that.
Let's see.
Yes, like that.
Right there, okay. Okay, let me get a pen. Rock Rose Drive is actually, let me see where I'm at. It's actually right here. Oh, is that it? No.
Why don't you put this one up?
Let me follow. Oh, okay. Well, it's because this one shows a little bit more of the circulation. So that's why but let me get on this side of it, and that'll actually help. Rock Rose Drive is actually.
You had an arrow to it.
Right
there,
Right there, that's Rock Rose.
This is Rock Rose Drive.
Yeah.
And this is what they want to extend down into the subdivision.
Okay.
As you can see, this particular, and you can't read it right now, but this particular River Hills subdivision came back before you. At that point, that's when the staff asked for that particular extension to be extended. The engineer was not in favor of it because he said that he has a loop, that he had River Hill Loop, which comes all along here. This is River Hill Loop. That was the internal circulation they had for the subdivision. Their signalization is on the north side, and on the south entrance or exit, that is just where they go in and out. It's a right turn in, right turn out. So they have that cared for, and them so what we feel is this is it's kind of burdening the last piece of this tract, the last development that's going in here, to have to find a way to bring this road in. Initially, it's not a through street, because the through street is over here on the south side. This is Brazos. So it's a 50-foot road that that was just extended just to see that we had a connection. And it doesn't go anywhere but to the next road up. So it's not a through street, it's just creating additional traffic. And so what it does to us, if you bring back up the master plan, can you pull up the master plan?
There you go.
There we go. You see where Rock Rose is at right there? I don't have anything, a pointer.
Right there.
But it comes straight down and it goes into the middle of one of our blocks. So that block will now carry the circulation that comes from River Hill Drive, or River Hill subdivision completely. So it's gonna cross through and it's gonna come out on Brazos Avenue. That's gonna create a dangerous situation in our opinion, because you're gonna have additional traffic flow that's gonna be going there as opposed to, what we would have just from generating our subdivision itself. We have, from the traffic engineers that are assisting us with the TIA, you can see, I think you have the exhibit inside your packet, but the first one is Exhibit A. Okay, Exhibit A, you can see the far west drive, which is Kimia. That one generates, at least, this is just the generation of flow based upon the subdivision, what you see right here in front of you, which is the R1B. You can see that it'll generate probably about 30 trips per day, whether coming in or out, depending on whether it's in the AM or the PM. And then you can see the center, and it keeps adding up as you go and work your way towards Masterson. Towards US Highway 83 along Masterson. So that is what you see just with our subdivision. Now, if you turn around and you bring in this one, this is adding in the traffic flow that would come from River Hill subdivision.
Is that Exhibit C?
This is Exhibit C, yes ma'am, this is adding both of them. Actually, Exhibit B shows just the traffic flow from River Hill, but this one, C adds them all up together. So, Exhibit C, as you can see, the majority of the traffic is gonna be concentrated on Brazos, and that adds up, if you start looking at it, you're seeing probably about, you see 100, it says 119 and 81, that's 200 trips, and then you see 42 and 138, that's another 180. So, that being said, you're seeing 400 trips. 400 trips being generated on a daily basis, and you're putting it in that little small section where those lots are gonna be. It's gonna create a dangerous area. Maybe not all the time, but at some point in time, with that many cars going there, it's gonna create a problem. So that is why we are concerned with the fact that they want us to extend the road into the subdivision. And we understand their concern, but it's hard to accommodate or say that we wanna accommodate something when it's gonna create a problem in that particular sense. It's gonna be a dangerous problem, because we're gonna have those 400 trip generations coming daily. That's what you're gonna be seeing.
Can I ask a question to staff? What is the purpose, or what's the reasoning behind the unusual case, or I see here on planning, item 1,
That
on
is just,
connecting the subdivision, with the street, and then passing also a drainage canal, to connect these two subdivisions. What was the reasoning behind it?
well, the comment is just quoting the subdivision ordinance, right? So it just says pursuant to the subdivision ordinance, the streets, a system designated for the subdivision, except in unusual cases, you've gotta connect, right? So that's why we noticed on the master plan that the stub out on the north subdivision, they were not proposing the connection in their master plan, right? So that's what we're calling out. Subdivision ordinance requires everybody to abide by the stub outs from previous or recorded joining subdivisions. And so that's why we're saying make sure that you connect. The revise your master plan in order to connect. I think that's what you're asking about the
Yes.
unusual cases?
Yes. Is the creating the traffic, is that an unusual case, or doubling traffic, is that?
The connection obviously will allow an alternate north-south connector, so that what we're looking at is, we wanted to ensure that both the people north of this subdivision and this subdivision have that north-south connection that doesn't force them necessarily to have to go to the highway to go either southward or northward, right? So that they could have either visitation, if they want, somebody in this subdivision wants to go and visit somebody in the, in the next subdivision north of them, they would be able to, walk there, bike there, or, have that connection available to them without having to get in their car, go to the highway, come back around, go up, go down. The connection would also provide a handy alternate access for folks north of this subdivision to maybe if they wanted to access that school that's south of it, in that southern, even south of this subdivision, south of Masterson. So that's why we were very interested in making sure that that connection happens. And we understand that affordability, we want to support affordability. RECODE is all about affordability. We want to make sure that but there are other concerns with regard to connectivity, walkability. So those are the things that we, over and above just the requirement of the subdivision ordinance to connect to the stub outs that we had seen, that we would really had wanted that north-south availability to connect.
Yeah, because I see that goes through a park that they want to designate.
Yeah, there's a
city-
it's a drainage feature that they wanna, do some really good work on creating a really nice level,
Green area.
green area.
Yeah, just a couple of points real quick. In fact, this dates me. I was around here when, Marina Sukup, the department director, the P and Z director, in nineties wrote this, and we were all putting up spike fences in those days, so neighbors, adjoining property owners couldn't connect to our water and sewer or streets. And so she wrote this specifically addressing the spike fences, but she put in the clause, which is, to me, applies here, except in unusual circumstances or cases, and this is definitely, unusual. We're going to the expense voluntarily, instead of leaving an open channel that after 1 year, the city has to maintain, and Public Works is years behind. It'll silt up, grow up, and be a nuisance. We're going underground with flex pipe, so that we're leaving a nice level lineal park, beautiful tract of land. That's $150,000 additional voluntary money for us, which we think, adds value, versus the crossing of the street adds no value. If someone has a friend in River Hills, yeah, they don't have to get on the highway. But when we're talking about on affordability, but I think in all city issues, you've got to outline the benefits versus the cost. And the cost of $4,000 a house, I don't think, I think that more than offsets the ability for maybe a dozen people in either subdivision to go visit a friend in another subdivision. And we're all for connectivity and flow. At Lomas, instead of contesting it, we built a $2 billion road, Guaymas, so we would have other flow. But we were starting with a blank piece of paper. Right now, we're stuck between two tracts of land.
But ultimately, you have to access the highway.
Absolutely.
Even through
Everybody goes out to the highway, correct.
Because
Matter of fact,
you're backing to the river.
this particular
So-
subdivision only goes up through River Hill Loop, and that's where it
right.
ends. You can't continue going any further north as far as any sort of connectivity.
Yeah. Yeah, because I'm zooming out.
And I understand what staff comes back and says, but we also don't want to sacrifice the people that are be living in this subdivision for safety.
Well, because
I mean, the traffic counts from the traffic engineer show it pretty, I mean, it shows it right there, it's 400 trips you're gonna be generating daily that are gonna be going through that one area right there.
Madam Chairman, may I ask you a question?
Yes.
What about, I'm playing devil's advocate here, Masterson Road seems to be the only ingress and egress from the subdivision, is that correct?
That's correct.
So there's an
Unless they-
accident on it, and
unless they
if
go
it
southward.
blocks Masterson, can somebody get out?
Well, they can, but they would have to, find a southern, one of their, one of their exits that face Masterson. If Masterson were to be blocked closer to the highway, they would need to go farther southward.
The-
So
the-
there are outs to the.
But there is a way.
The middle entrance is Brazos Avenue, the middle entrance.
Right.
That one is a through road that keeps going southward.
No, that's an excellent question, Mr. Begon.
That's correct.
People can still exit, we have multiple, streets headed south, with Brazos being the major one. So they can escape, some type of emergency to the south. And that one exit, and there's multiple streets there, with Brazos being the major one. 31-foot, back-to-back street, it's not gonna be much relief, on the deal. And I just go back to, and that's a point of concern, but, once again, when we're trying to be affordable, does do the benefits justify the cost? And in my mind, to me, it's very important, every additional dozen families that we can put in a home, makes Laredo a better place to live.
Madam Chair, a question, or more so a comment, I think. I think for the idea of someone wanting to walk or bike from one subdivision to another, the master plan already provides park access. It looks like there's on the east side of Carina Drive and in the middle.
That is correct, and if you look on those north lots, there's actually two entrances that we have for park area.
Yeah. So there's
that
park
do connect to the
access,
park, yes.
and then it looks like the subdivision north, Rock Rose Drive also has access to the park area, so it
Through
looks
Rock
like,
Rose, yes, ma'am.
yeah, so actually for walking and biking, it's probably safer to keep cars out of the area if the purpose is,
I agree.
pedestrian safety.
Yes,
Does
sir.
Rock Rose currently connect to what you're proposing to have that as a park area?
That's where it dead ends, yes, sir.
It is already in existence?
Yes.
And we looked at, it also meets the turnaround standard for fire, so the fire's not in a dead end, but, Ms. Portillo, that's an excellent point. In fact, Luis brought it up this morning, is that, instead of spending money on a $200,000 plus road, let's spend the money actually making these, because this is a nice level piece of land, beautiful as it flows down to the river. Let's go ahead and we'll improve those hike and bike, so that
Park access.
River Hills has access to the lineal park also. And then that is a benefit to both an existing subdivision, and to the one we have. And yeah, we're trying to promote, walkability and biking, and yet we're doing a damn road. So we're just talking out both sides of the mouth on the plan, but I like that idea.
Yeah, I think it falls under the unusual cases.
Madam Chair. Okay, so you have the river, and the idea was to have a big linear park from Laredo College South, all along the River Vega, all the way to Laredo College, through the Bend, Laredo College, all the way up to Father Magnabo Park. That would be ideal. There's a few areas that are private along the river, and one of them was the Richter Ranch. So if that Richter Ranch is now part of the city, then yes, there would be an access point for creating a linear park that can traverse all of these subdivisions.
No,
But you're not gonna have,
Mr. Martinez, you and I worked together on the park dedication. We may even work together on the Father Magnabo dedication. We have this beautiful asset in the Rio Grande, and it's underutilized. Chuck Richter is he owns the property right here, and he's camped out there, but we have a wide drainage easement that takes us in this lineal park down to the river. While he's very hard to deal with, we might be able to negotiate some type of walkway along that, drainage easement. But no, the idea of incorporating that, the entire river, I've always loved the idea.
sure. Now, Santa Rita does connect to Santa Fe. And Santa Fe, as a matter of fact, if you go all the way south, it's College Heights, that's the subdivision. And then as you go north from Laredo College, that's Santa Rita. And then as you go further north, it's Santa Fe, and then it abuts up to Masterson Road. And it stops right there. Those people have to go to Masterson Road. And so I can see that if you were to put the Rock Rose street and punch it through to Masterson, then you would be actually connecting the one subdivision that you're creating plus the River Hill South, and so they would have different access points. River Hill South would be the north, and then of course it has that loop that comes around. Then you would have Masterson. So there would be different access points along the way. I know that if that would happen, you would probably displace about 7 lots. Is that correct?
I don't follow completely what the river, Chuck Richter is gonna be very hard until he dies to do anything on his property. The people that want to access the river park can go to Masterson and drive down to the river.
Well, I'm just saying
I don't
from,
follow.
what I'm saying is the connectivity of all of those subdivisions in that area so that you don't have to force them to go into the US Highway 83, get on a major collector or a highway just to go back into the subdivision. So I could see why the planning department is asking you to punch Rock Rose, and that way you would connect Santa Rita, Santa Fe, well, College Heights, Santa Rita, Santa Fe, your subdivision, and then River Hill. If you were to open up Rock Rose, because Rock Rose is gonna link River Hill to the others, and that way, I've gone to some of these parks in Santa Rita and in Santa Fe, and I see the kids coming from the Santa Rita area to go play at the Santa Fe, because Santa Fe has a baseball park, but Santa Rita doesn't. Santa Rita has a soccer field, but Santa Fe doesn't. And so these kids are coming back and forth, and they're communicating back and forth. And they do that through some of these back streets, and they have to meander through the subdivision to get to the other subdivision.
Sure, just like we did it as kids. And I like the idea. Yeah, and we've got access to Brazos here, so all the people that we're providing, new homeowners, will have access to Santa Rita, everything else. But ask us to bear the burden of loss of lots and expense for the benefit of a previously approved project and built. We can't, one 60-acre tract can't answer all the solutions in the world. We have excellent access headed further south to Santa Rita and Santa Fe subdivision. Richter is probably 20 years off for that river. There's 2 separate property owners, is why we were able to buy this.
So if you were to punch out Rock Rose, you would lose 2 lots, because it would go Rock Rose to Carina Drive, and then they'd have to take a left to go to Brazos, avenues to get to
But
Masterson
more
Road.
importantly, we're gonna be opening up, and the key principle in the street planning is not to dump traffic on internal residential streets, and we're breaking the number one principle. You're dumping, River Hills traffic onto, that's why,
True,
Ms.
unless you
Martinez-
punch Rock Road straight to Masterson, but then you're displacing 7 lots.
But, yeah, but the idea is, parks, we're building for kids and for families. Well, we're going to we already went to the additional expense for this not to be just a drainage ditch. And it's a beautiful linear park, and we're saying we'll extend these deals so kids on bicycles, you don't need a $200,000 road with head walls and concrete drainage ditches. To the park, it makes more sense to give the kids a bus pass, than spend that type of money. But all of our people, they have excellent connections to all the parks to the further to the south.
I had a question for staff. I don't know if we can pull up the aerial of this area, just so I can try to get my bearing straight of the location, and then especially if we're talking about connectivity between two developments. So, so I don't know if y'all can put it up on the map, or,
In the meantime, may I ask what the average size of the lots are in the subdivision?
4,500, right?
I think it's
Is it R1B?
R1B.
R1B is 3,000.
But they're 35 by 110s. That's our average.
So they're 42.
Oh,
They're
so
42,
it's
yes, 42.
Okay, because it brings up the subject we had last time. There's gonna be a lot of cars parked in the street.
Yeah.
So to add a bunch of
But,
traffic in a street that's full of cars
But the
parked in the street,
R1Bs are required to have 3 parking spaces on the lot.
required and
Yes.
used are two different things.
Mm-hmm.
I can,
But
we know that.
The ordinance does provide at least,
Right.
acknowledges the, you know,
Understood.
the increased density and the need for that extra parking on property.
No, Mr. Montgomery,
What a-
you've seen it before, just like I had, checking our subdivisions at 7:30, to 5:30, and that's why I disagree with the RICO guys. They haven't, lived the streets of Laredo. They say people want parks, not parking. All of my, customers want more parking, is more important to them than, that. So you've got cars parked on both sides of a 50-foot right of way.
Yeah.
And then add another 400 cars more. You're asking for, problems and delays.
Who did this traffic analysis? Was it a third party?
That's third
Is it a
party.
third
It's
party?
Dougherty Engineering. Correct.
When we come back to you with the higher density, a multifamily deal, which requires planning with the builders, and lot design and park incorporation, and all that stuff, it'll be a full-blown, a deal. This is just excerpts from It's Not Yet Finished that addressed, the traffic on Masterson.
so my question is, or my comment is this: if we're looking at the map on the TV, right, south of that is what we just mentioned right now is, Santa Fe. So if you look at the bottom south part of this map, where the blank space in the middle or the empty space is the master plan we're talking about. South of that is Santa Fe. And then you see that road where there's a lot of connections to Masterson, from Santa Fe to Masterson Road. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, maybe 8, all of them connecting to Masterson. But if you look north of it, right, and that's the master, River Hill, out of that master plan in River Hill and all those homes, there's only one connection so I think a lot of the issue is when we accepted that master plan, the issue is that master plan didn't consider all that traffic to go north and south, because if they would have, then there's a road on the left closest to the river called the River Hill. And that roadway should have been the one to connect, because it's a bigger roadway, it connects from the highway, and loops around, that property north of it, right? River Hill, and we should not have allowed those homes off at the end of River Hill. That should have been the roadway to connect both of these master plans, plus additional roadways. Just like the property in the south is, where Santa Fe has 6 connections to Masterson. Here, we're bottlenecking everything, all of that development to this one local collector, Rock Rose, to handle all of that traffic, plus all the traffic south of it from both of these master plans, and I don't know the count of the rooftops there, and we're trying to force everything to this one spot in the middle. And my concern is, and I don't know if, Mr. Estrada, if you have those numbers of all that traffic on this one local street in the middle of this neighborhood to try to maintain and handle, and even then, this local street, if you continue on Rock Rose, it just goes maybe 1 block or 2, then you have to go left to River Hill Loop, or to the right. So the issue here is actually River Hill subdivision, because that subdivision only left us one connection. And it should have been River Hill Loop, and maybe even Rockwell, and maybe even further north off 83, where the commercial stuff is, to connect. Also, there should have been a connection further north-south, closer to US 83. So, and if you're looking at your master plan, I know the only concern I have is if there's gonna be access, and I recognize encouraging walkability, encouraging biking, and if that's gonna happen, then I would do, and if there's people walking from within the neighborhoods, I know there's gotta be connectivity because they're probably already doing it. And if I looked at the aerial, they're already using a dirt path off of River Hill. If you go towards the end of Masterson, probably the Border Patrol's already using that empty lot. Until someone builds something, then they won't have access. But right now, they use that as their access going north and south. If we were to move lot 17 over to 16, then it would align with Rock Rose, and if anything, we would have that park access to be able to connect both, and it would connect directly with Rock Rose, to at least have folks.
Mr. Barone, because, and Commissioner Martinez, well, the people can still get the activity. In fact, they can actually drive, because you can drive to the end of Masterson Road, get out of your car and walk. You might get shot in front of but you can definitely go south as far as you want to go. So they both have car access, and more importantly for the kids to explore in a relatively safe area with the presence of Border Patrol, et cetera, that they can get on their bikes, head down Masterson and head up all the river, or they can go actually through these multitude of streets and Santa Fe.
I remember as a kid, I had a couple of friends that were on motorcycles and they were mischievous. And they knew that if they were in Del Mar Sea, they can connect through Regency and get away from the police that were chasing them, because there was no thoroughfare, but there was an area where the bikes can go. And those people are adults now, but they talk about how they often would get away from the police because the police couldn't get through.
Yeah.
Madam Chair, I have a question. So moving on from comment number 1, are you okay with the rest of the comments, or did you say comment
Still
number
had some, just wanted to discuss comment number 2 as well. Big deal. Let's see if we can make it real quick. Basically, comment number 2 is, its concern is the street and center line effects of less than 300 feet shall be avoided. And staff mentions 2, Kirkwood and River Point Drive, and the other one is Kimia Drive and Llano Road. To go to River Point Drive and Kirkwood, I think when we met with staff earlier today, part of their concern is on this master plan, you don't see, you see multifamily townhomes and you don't see the layout, which we're going to come forward with again, to actually show the entire layout of that track. But right now, we just came forward with the R1B section. So in the future, you will see that Kirkwood is going to extend to the north, and those are going to be double frontage lots. But I see where staff's concern is, and it's not necessarily that we have a problem with it, but the conversation we had today was, would it be a little bit better if you were able to see what was going on at this track? And I believe, I don't know if you want to say what you guys thought, but,
Well, well, we're running up against this street jog thing, and we're gonna see it in other items on this agenda. And we had thought that, well, I mean, it's just straight out of the subdivision ordinance, right? The street jog requirement. But if planning and zoning wanted to consider, something different, we wanted to suggest a coordination with traffic department for possible median and or other alternative traffic mitigation issues, maybe signage, maybe, limiting turning movements, something like that to prevent
Oh.
the collision
Any-
potentials
anything
with,
for
with the,
safety.
with the jogs.
Yeah, yeah, and we'll work that out with traffic.
Mm-hmm.
I think this one, out of the two, the one to the east, that's gonna go under our high-density, single-family, that's gonna get explained away, cause we're gonna have to come back to you when we do this new project, call it a PUD but they're gonna be detached homes. I don't like developing, I think giving people their own lot, even if it's a small one, it instills a greater sense of ownership than having a shared wall.
It'll be townhomes, platted townhome lots.
Ground home, yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, it'll have lot and block numbers.
Okay.
Not a condo.
Yeah.
But you're gonna see this, it just requires, under the current ordinance, it requires a lot more, planning and coordination with builders, with parks, with everything. So this one to the east, to the east is gonna get addressed in the future deal. And whatever traffic wants as far as median signs and everything. The one to the far west, right by the river, we added that in because we have a sewer line, that needs to go in, and the city doesn't like sewer lines, outside of the road. So that road is to accommodate the sewer line, but the whole idea of the 300 feet is to prevent conflicting turning, collisions. But if you look, if Frank can articulate it better than me, there's no traffic when you get to the west end. Almost no.
I think we're, well,
Median for both,
Yeah.
intersections would it be
Well,
something, or,
for the street jog on possibly Masterson, for the one from Llano and I can't read that, whatever that is, that street is.
where is Llano? Oh, yeah, Llano and,
Kenya.
Kenya. Yeah.
But the other one,
Kirkwood? No.
Kirkwood and
Kirkwood, right?
Ling Drive?
Link Drive.
Lano.
Lano, is that it? The first street going northward in the master plan.
Yeah.
That street jog, we didn't know, we were thinking
It's just
traffic. I mean, you can't put medians right there, I mean, it's just a regular, 50-foot right of way, so a median would not work there. So we're thinking, I don't know, something signage,
Medium or
Something
coordination
else.
with traffic signage.
I think
Yeah.
a median is a little, the road isn't very wide.
yeah, that's what I'm saying, that one you
particular area,
can't
but-
put with median.
But we'd be more than happy to work with
traffic.
Mr. Peña
Mm-hmm.
and make sure that we put in what the city would require. I don't know how you wanna reword that particular comment.
I guess we could keep it, the comment as is, or coordinate. I guess the or would
Yeah,
work, right?
there's
Or
or and then-
coordinate with the traffic department for possible median and or traffic mitigation measures.
That works.
That works, yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
and good idea, and we'll do whatever it takes on the safety bit with traffic to make sure it works. And the one to the east will make more sense when we come to you with another amended master plan, when we actually, have let's call it a PUD
The
project.
part for the townhomes, yes.
So, as far as, I'm sorry, I was trying to look at the master plan. Right now, we've identified the park access, lots 17 and 39?
Yes.
Is that correct?
Correct.
Now, would there be an issue with considering doing the park access? Or is there a reason why it has to be 17 and we couldn't consider lot 16 as a park access?
I think we could maneuver it however we need. It's not coming in this particular phase, but it's something that if we wanted to adjust where that entrance would be, I think we'd be fine
Yeah,
with
well,
that.
of course.
Wherever we need it. The
Wherever
same,
it
the
works.
same thing we mentioned to staff this morning
Yeah.
is you see the width of the
Right.
one that's on 39. We could probably play with both of them.
And the reason I say that is because if you guys were to be able to do that, then we would have that direct access and it'll align perfectly with Rock Rose. And if anyone, wants to access the park or Rock Rose and even, I think at the country club, there's a space where if they have to get access, it's private access, but they can get through it, in a vehicle if it has to, right?
We like that idea.
And they could, right?
Yes.
So like that, there is access, and it aligns with Rock Rose, and I think that,
Asphalted access on lot 16, is that what you're saying? Okay, okay.
Of course, it'd have to be wide enough for
Like
the
to move
street,
it.
in case we were to put a street on there.
I mean,
I'm getting confused now.
No,
that
I
one,
think
that
he's
gets
saying
a- that gets
access.
a little difficult.
I'm just saying
I
access.
think he's access to
Like whatever access
Yeah.
you were gonna give the
park access,
the park access in 17,
not as a street.
do it on access on 16, whatever access
Correct.
that was going to be.
correct.
Right, I don't know what you all.
I think, well, I mean, like I said, at this point, it's still something we can
How
discuss.
wide is the street? Are they 30 feet or what?
Typically, they're 50.
50 feet?
Yeah, Robert Rose is
50 feet.
The actual paving section's 31.
30.
Yeah, the paving section's 31 back to back. We'll go to whatever length to make that thing work. And that's something that will work, for people to access the parks. And then, you've got a paved road there.
So
and
what do
Rock
we do to
Rose-
prevent anybody from actually driving on that thing though?
Well, I know they have those.
Pylons.
barriers.
Okay,
Yeah,
well,
the
you're
barrier.
talking about putting up bollards or something to that
Yeah,
effect, so that,
and if they have to, emergency or something,
Okay.
it's there, but it's something that,
Are you, like you're saying, so a vehicle can,
well, in case there's an emergency and one vehicle needs to get through there, I don't know, I'm just talking out loud, but I do like that it'll align for people to be able to access easily, and it looks a lot easier to get through.
I think so.
Yeah.
okay, I'm gonna do a motion.
Well,
And
do
then-
they want
Oh, before you do the
Are there any
motion,
other
if you all are seriously considering to remove that road, we would request, at a minimum, a 15-foot paved shared use path.
For the connection to the, that's
We're
what,
referencing right now.
that's what he's
correct?
At
saying,
a
yeah.
minimum.
You know,
A-
that's what I was gonna.
A
yeah.
15-foot shared use, what is it?
50
What was
foot or
the word?
15?
Multi-use path.
15,
Yes,
say that at 15 feet.
And I guess before we end up, I just wanna make sure that I just throw my 2 cents in there, that, without this connection, these folks in River Point,
Yeah.
if somebody living right here on, I don't know, what is it, Carina, they wanna go, visit whomever up there in Big Leaf, I mean, it's a little bit farther to walk, but they're gonna have to go through the highway,
And,
you know?
and what I'm proposing is making a motion to see how people vote.
Okay,
So if I do at least something instead of stalemate, we're gonna be here till 9,
Yeah.
and I know a lot of people are going to Journey tonight. One already left, so.
Bernie.
I'm not,
I
just
didn't
disclaimer. And then if that doesn't pass, then hey, let's do another vote, and then let's just do majority commissioners.
And allow me to add something to it. Is it possible to take, if the concern is that 17 be moved to the access, instead of 17 be moved to 16, and you see 17 right now is very narrow, and you have 39 very wide, could we not transfer some of that width to 16?
Oh, yeah.
And just narrow it?
We can work with
Yeah,
all
they-
those
they
widths
said
that
they
are
can
there.
Right,
Yeah.
then if some point in the future the city decides to cough up to make a street, let them do it, but there's room.
Yeah, they can move around 39.
But that would
I
require
get to pay for it.
a
Okay.
50-foot, we'd rather not leave, for the city to build a street, which, the last time we were in this situation, the city never built it, we had to build it. In District One, because the kids in Cuatro Vientos couldn't get to our elementary school and Lomas.
But she said 15, right?
15.
15 is.
At a minimum, we,
Yeah, at a
we
minimum,
definitely wanna
15
see it.
works.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let,
Okay, let's do it.
Okay.
Okay, come on.
Take a shot.
Let me focus, because I forgot already.
On the nose.
I'm just
Don't
kidding.
stop believing.
I'm just kidding. Some people have to go to Journey tonight. So, okay, so I'm gonna go with the staff's motion to approve, subject to striking certain comments or amending certain comments as follows. Comment 2 by traffic, striking that. Staff comment number 1 is striking Rock Rose Drive, okay? But instead amending it to have a 15-foot access to the park area drainage, okay?
Can it specify?
Yes.
it Paved?
Paved
shared
with asphalt
Multi-use path.
for paved with asphalt for multi-use path,
That's perfect.
connecting to the park.
Lot 16.
On lot 16.
Connecting to Rock Road.
Yes, not 17. Well, it doesn't connect to Rock Road because now it just connects to the park. It's just access to the park.
Okay.
And then, and then,
But we would want it to connect to Rock Rose.
yes, that's why it's lot 16.
Yeah.
Within lot 16, like, right? Within lot 16?
Yeah, but we've got to get through the park, so I can see where you're saying connect to.
She's saying
Rock Road.
connect, I think
Yeah.
Vanessa's saying connect all the way.
Because there's a
across
small
the
portion of the park that they want us to also, I guess, pave through that 15-foot.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Connect the 15, 15 with, multi-use path through the park, accessing Rock Rose. Okay? And then, amending, comment number 2 from staff to allowing, the applicant to, meet with traffic and possibly agree on a medium or traffic mitigation, okay?
Right.
Did the motion first strike comment 2 and now you're amending 2?
No, it's struck 2 from traffic. This is
Right.
1 and 2, and then subsequently 1 and 2 from staff.
Yes, sir.
That is my motion, and then let's take it to a vote.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
I wasn't each way, and you guys voted, all right?
No, it's good.
I just, if not, we're here forever,
Yeah, yeah.
you know.
Okay, so we
We're
are
done with 8B, we're 9A.
9A. Consideration of the following preliminary plats and replats. A ver, ¿cuántos somos? Nadie se puede levantar, ¿eh?
Replats, plats and replats, right?
Yes,
The handout.
plats and replats.
Yeah, I didn't see it, but I mean, it sounds like they put it on there. Okay.
Can we read them all together?
Thank you.
No? Okay.
Yeah, you're,
There's people here to speak.
Someone's up.
Yeah, let's give them.
Preliminary consideration of the plat of Coves at Winfield Phase 9 and the granting of a variance to increase the maximum dead-end street length of the proposed street, Valor Drive, from 500 feet to approximately 700 feet pursuant to section 3-2J of the subdivision ordinance. The intent is residential.
Yes, ma'am. For the record, the applicant is Charco Land Sales, engineers, Mesquite Engineering. The proposed use is, the intent is for houses, single family. That's the zoning. Zoning is R1. Location view, aerial view, the proposed plat. The staff recommendation on the packet, it said initially staff does not support, but after conversations with the engineer and developer, we went ahead and supported the variance for the following reason. We recognize that the proposed Cove-style subdivision design, it's intended to create that distinct neighborhood layout, so as staff, we found that considered a unique design considerations for the variance. And because this is a variance request, under this section, which is section 3.7A, the commission by 2/3, a majority vote, those members present, may grant the variance. And pursuant to that section, the commission shall make their findings in order to justify the decision to grant the variance. And those findings will then be put into the official minutes of the meeting. Staff comments, planning, 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 5 and 6, 7 through 10. Comments from Parks and Fire and Traffic Safety, 3 to 7, and the proposed motion.
This is a public, someone here to speak for, design?
Yes. Orlando Navarro for the record. And I don't know if we can get the projector.
Mr.
Sorry, what?
Mr. Vedati, can you tell? Oh.
There you go. So, all that being said, we have, this road right here, and what we did was, we made it a cul-de-sac because we didn't want traffic to hit this major road. So we're having it come out this way. So we did this for more of a safety issue. And because we did that, it extended our street, 200 feet. So, but the purpose of that was just for safety, so that you don't have left turns, and then you could see that the curvature on that, so we didn't want to come out right there because the danger of the line of sight. And
Yeah,
that-
Mr. Chairman, we had a really good conversation with the applicant's representative today. And, you know, if you notice in your packet, we had originally looked at this, and according to the requirements under the code, couldn't find the necessary justification. But after those conversations, they brought to our attention some very important points with regard to the length. And really, they have two alternatives, right? They either shorten the length of the street, which would then result in land that now becomes typically unusable, or, and that's something that would trigger the variance request if it deprives the landowner of any reasonable use. And two, the other alternative would be to turn the road, punch out, and punch out onto the road, right? So that would then eliminate that issue with the length of a dead end. However, because of the curves, we noticed that the site distances posed concerns, very significant concerns for us regarding those site distances. So in this case, because of those conversations, because of the additional analysis, we think that that's why we were able to support this variance.
Okay.
That's it?
Yes.
We have a motion?
Does anybody speak against?
Is anybody here to speak against? There we go. No? What are the wishes of the commission?
What would be the proposed amendment? Is there an amendment to the comment that you would be okay with?
No, I think they already did.
We supported the variance.
Yeah, they already did.
Oh, okay, but there was nothing against, like, what's already here?
No?
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry, I'm not tracking, sorry.
I thought that
No.
something changed in your conversation
No,
today.
when we initially looked at the variance request, we looked at the ordinance, and it tells you specific criteria for approving the variance, and it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, right? And we couldn't find any of those, that it met any of those criteria. But after talking with the applicant today, they were, again, they were really, to use a word, gracious, to come and talk with us and help us see a little bit more with regard to those site distances.
So would you say you are
They're okay.
or supportive
they're
of
supportive.
the
Yeah, we
variance
support the
now?
variance.
Okay.
No.
Okay, motion to pass the variance or approve the variance, subject to staff recommendations.
And approve subject to comments, right?
Comments, right.
Mhm.
All in favor? Second? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. 9B, preliminary consideration of the plat of the Coves at Winfield Phase 10B. The intent is residential.
Yes, ma'am. The applicant, it's Charco Land Sales. Engineer is Misk Engineering. The proposed use is residential. The current zoning for this development is R1. The location view, aerial view, the proposed plat, stock comments planning, comments 1 and 2, 3 and 4 through 5, comments 6 through 8, comments from parks and fire, comments from traffic, comments 3 to 8, and the proposed motion.
Orlando Navarro for the record. And just to let you know, in all of our items, there's a comment to speak to parks. We had a meeting with parks.
Was that on purpose?
We are in discussion with, just to let you know. But, she was here. So, this one. Let's turn it. They can turn, okay, there you go. So what we're talking about here, this right here is Santos Elementary, okay? And we're getting ready to put this street through to Shiloh, okay? Our subdivision has a street coming out and it's close to this street here, right? But what we were telling staff is we're gonna put a median and that, the entrance to the neighborhood will be a right in, right out. So they won't be able to make a left turn there. They have to turn right in order to protect that, the people turning there. So that's what we went to staff to let them know that was our plan.
Where, is that in a comment or?
Reflect that?
No, no.
No, we had to go in and
specifically
talk to
made.
them and say,
Okay.
we're doing the median,
Yeah.
Okay.
so.
Which one put on that?
And that'll limit the access for danger for anything. Because we really want the flow of the traffic to go, and if you can see on Shiloh, one of the things we're proposing with traffic is to do a roundabout. And hopefully we can keep the families that are they're leaving, they don't hit a stop sign and have one car at a time. This will be a flowing roundabout that'll get the cars out. But we're still working on that design.
This one says the right documentation demonstrating compliance.
I don't know if you,
Yes.
I think in the engineering's letter, they put, advice as the planning commissioner.
Okay, I'll have that
What should we
changed
put
out.
on that? Is it this one or this one? It's this one.
Orly, I'm just curious, how come the grid
Same
system
thing?
doesn't work anymore?
The grid system does work.
I thought
It's
so.
very popular. We're following,
Good to add that.
Rick Harrison's design pattern of doing coves. The coves has a different look. There's curves. It slows down traffic. We've pushed the houses back. So in some cases, we have houses back about 80 feet. So when you're driving in, instead of having them up close, they pull back. So it's just designed for us. And then one of the things that we also are doing is we're leaving a lot of green space. So whereas in some areas, lots would be put on everything, we're holding back some so that we can allow some green space. And then in the future, you'll see some walking trails that we're gonna put in. So there's a master plan to it. But I grew up in the Heights and I'm a grid kid, so it still works.
I don't see that anymore from the developers.
Mr. Chairman, pursuant to the applicant's comments, we would recommend adding the similar verbiage that we had on the previous item regarding the jogs, coordinate with traffic department for possible median and or traffic mitigation measures.
What was that item? That's what I was looking for on the traffic, on
The
the.
other one, where we put it,
No, I mean
this one?
the, on the item, is it a traffic?
Oh, it's on number 2?
Got it,
Planning comment number 2.
got it.
So this comment would remain about the street jogs, but add the coordination with traffic department language.
Okay.
Was that it? Any other concerns, Mr. Navarro, with your comment? With the comments, you're good with the
Yes,
rest?
yes, ma'am.
Okay, what are the wishes of the commission?
Motion to approve, subject to staff, comments and modifying staff comment number 2, to add that applicant will visit with traffic, for any, mitigation and
For possible median
possible
and
medium
traffic
and
mitigation
mitigation of
measures.
traffic measures.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. 9C. Otra vez. Preliminary consideration of the plan of the Coves at Winfield Phase 11. The intent is residential.
So Orlando Navarro for the record, and we're just proud to say that Killam is actively developing. You can see we have 3 plats going, so.
Qué padre.
And this one, let me see if I can explain it a little bit easier using 2. So this is the neighborhood that we're talking about, but you can see it better here where it comes up and hits this point. We're asking to allow for this connection, and the reason we think that it's okay is it's a cul-de-sac. Through traffic's not gonna go, through here. And we've done a traffic study that we're turning into the engineering department, and it shows
I'm sorry,
I forgot what the number was, it was a car I forgot what Chris said.
I don't remember.
It's very minimal, so what we did was, because of the minimal traffic, we'd like to keep that connection.
Do you have that? Oh, is that?
They didn't bring it up on the other one.
Yeah, I think with regard to this one, are you talking about the street jog comment? Okay. This is what we sort of came up with. And we wanted to call you, but time ran away with us. So I think what Mr. Navarro is identifying is comment number 2 regarding the street jogs. So there's the distance between, what is the name of the westernmost loop street, the intersection? Independence?
Correct.
So what we thought is, making the intersection of Independence, the western would be no left turn.
Right here. At this point right
Thank you.
Make that a no left turn, so that the cars cannot
Go
go
that
this way
way.
in conflict. So they can go any which way, but here, they can go in this way, but they just cannot come to the left, they'd have to go to the right.
Yeah, so you don't have the
Like some
possible
signage,
collision.
here at the intersection identifying, you can go right, you just can't go left. They can come in, and like in our conversation, I remember the discussion was that the majority of the traffic on this side would come this way, and
And
this
then-
would go this
yeah.
way. So it's just some signage, we're doing traffic for some signage, so long as these don't go left, so you don't get the conflict of the cars going
Yeah.
there at that point.
Okay. Okay,
Yes?
yeah. We'll look at
Okay.
that, and if there's any issues to that, we'll just have to.
Yeah, I mean, that's what we thought.
Talk to traffic,
Yeah.
one-stop shop and traffic.
Just no left turn.
We'll give it a try and see if we
Okay.
can put that together.
Any other comments? Okay, thank you. Motion to approve, however, it's subject to staff comments and amending comment number 2, so that said comment would say that Independence Way shall only have a left turn.
No left turn.
No left turn.
No left turn.
Shall not be able to
The
turn left.
western intersection
Yes.
of Independence will be a no left turn.
So that said comment shall have, that Independence Way shall not be able to turn left. Shall have no left turn.
And we're gonna have to work with one-stop shop and traffic, and so we're gonna have to go round and round with that.
See if that works, it's a quick
Second.
comment, but yeah, okay, thanks.
Thank you.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Preliminary, 9D, preliminary consideration of the plat of River Point subdivision phase 1. The intent is multifamily.
Waiting for the,
We're playing those traffic.
Mr.
Sorry, the master said.
Sorry, he went to sleep.
Oh, that's the piece that was left out earlier.
River Point.
9D.
For this one, for the record, I know this is multifamily, but it's single family, just for the record. Applicant is 3R3 LLC, engineer Sherfy Engineering. The proposed use is single family, and the current zoning is AG and B3. Location view, aerial view, the proposed plat, staff comments planning, comments 1 through 4, comments 5 through 7, parks comment and fire comment, and traffic comments, comments 2 to 4, 5 and 6, and the proposed motion.
Good evening, Madam Chair. Frank Seiler with Sherfy Engineering. I think we pretty much concur with everything, except for traffic comment number 2, which was on the master plan, and adding the same type of verbiage on item number 1 of planning, that asks us to go before the traffic department. But other than that, we concur with the rest of the comments.
Okay. What are the wishes of the commission?
Motion to approve, subject to staff comments, and then amending item number 1 to reference similar to, or to be the comment as the master plan was given for this item. And then eliminating comment number 2, what, I'm sorry, what comment was it for traffic?
Comment number 2 of traffic.
Number 2 of traffic.
Yes, sir.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you.
9E, preliminary consideration of the plat of J Alexander subdivision unit 33, and the granting of a variance to reduce the front yard building setback line from lot 7, block 3, from 20 feet to 10 feet pursuant to section 24.77.2 of the Laredo Land Development Code. This intent is residential.
Yes, ma'am. The applicant for the record is D&J Alexander, Engineers Premier Engineering. The proposed use is single family. The current zoning is R1. The location view, aerial view, the proposed plat. Staff supports the variance. We find that it applies for the unique design section. Staff finds that the proposed orientation of the residence in relation to the location of the EP conjunction box constitutes that unique design. So based on those reasons, we believe that it does considered a unique design for that section. Because this is a variance request, under this section, the commission by a 2/3 majority of members present may grant the variance. The staff comments, planning, parks and fire, and then traffic comments, and the proposed motion.
Good evening, Madam Chair, members of the commission. My name is Armando Guerra with Premier Engineering, representing the client.
Eduardo Gutierrez with Premier Engineering.
I wanted to start just real quick with a little bit of a background. This project has already been previously approved and has gone through the process. We're actually 95% construction. All the streets are paved. It just took a little bit longer than normal, and so we're coming back as a formality to apply for a preliminary and final plat again while they finish off construction. And in that, the client did request, being that we were going to come back to preliminary, just for that one lot. And if I can show, here's the lot that they're talking about. And that's why we already know, since they're already installing the dry utilities, so we already know what's going on here in this one. I don't know if, how this works, sorry.
Should.
Just like that, fix that?
Yeah,
Okay, so, oops, sorry. So basically, it's this lot right here. So, the original plat, it included it facing, Jack London, but this way. When AEP came and they installed all the dry utilities, they put a huge junction box right here. So that was gonna be in the front of the home. So that's the reason why. Basically, the client decided, they're gonna face the home this way. And, so that the box remains on the backyard.
On the backyard.
Yes.
Perfect.
And then that's it for the variance. Since we had already gone through One Stop Shop, we had already gone, I don't know why the traffic department, they kind of copied and pasted all the
Otra
comments.
vez.
Yes, so we're gonna request for those to be removed, but I do have actually the letter from, they just sent it to me, in which, they acknowledge that it's 95% complete and they have previously approved the project, if I can.
Yeah, yeah. Because I think this had already gotten final plat also.
What?
It had already gotten final plat, correct?
Yeah, it already got.
Yeah, so it had already gotten approval from traffic.
Yeah, so.
Okay.
And that's our request.
Okay.
And just to give a little background on this one, so they are, like you said, almost complete with the
Done.
subdivision. They had already gotten final plat, which allowed them, give them permission to construct. This was just a last minute thing. We did show some pictures of that box, and yeah, it's pretty significant, so. So, but they, unfortunately, because of the way the design, and they were needing a variance, they had to come back to P and Z. It's not something that staff could do administratively in any which way, so they had to go through this process to get it here.
Okay.
And they'll be going back for final here I'm sure pretty quick.
Probably on the next one,
Yeah,
hopefully.
so.
If possible.
Madam Chair, motion to approve, subject to comments and striking all of traffic safety comments.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you. Thank you.
Sorry, can you amend on that one to grant the variance as well? If-
Oh, yeah,
the
to
variance.
approve the variance, grant the variance.
9G, preliminary consideration of the plat of Harmony Hills subdivision Phase 3 at Rodriguez Ranch. The intent is residential.
Actually, Madam Chair, you have 9.
Perdón, 9F. Preliminary, ya me quiero ir.
Thanks.
Preliminary consideration of the replat of lots 2A, 2B, and 4, Block 595, Western Division, into Lot 4A, Block 595, Western Division, and the granting of a variance to reduce the front yard building setback line from 20 to 10 feet pursuant to Section 24.77.2 of the Laredo Land Development Code. The intent is residential.
Yes, ma'am. For the record, the applicant is a housing authority. Engineers KCI. The proposed use is residential, and the current zoning is R3. The location view, the aerial view, the current plat, and the proposed replat. Staff does support the variance. Again, because it is a variance request, 2/3 of the majority of those members present may grant the variance. Staff comments, planning, parks, and fire, and the traffic. Comments 3 to 5, to 6, and the proposed motion.
Good evening, Madam Chair. Edward Ochoa with KCI Technologies for the record. We didn't have any, I think some of these comments on the screen are different than the ones in my packet. They were like that L-shaped intersection, that's not related to us. But we do concur with the comments that are part of the packet, just for the record. It says University Boulevard, see that?
Oh, excuse me, I might have.
I think it's just a presentation.
Yeah, so I just want, just for the record.
Yeah.
You want to put them on the screen if you have it there?
I do.
Yeah, because we only got 2 and 1.
Yes. Excuse me, the packet is correct. The
packet is,
presentation
yeah.
is not.
So this was the packet,
Yeah, yeah.
9F. There was a planning 1 and 2.
Okay.
Okay.
And then, I guess just for the record, let me show it. There was, just scheduled a meeting with park staff and then
Yeah,
no other comments.
that's correct.
Okay, thank
So
you.
relative to this, yeah, I concur with staff comments. We don't have any issues. I'm open to any questions. Laredo Housing Authority project, they purchased a property right across the street from the housing that's there in the San Francisco Avenue area. And, they're just putting some apartments. And, the apartments are gonna be, 100% for senior living. And so just based on the apartment space and what we have to do to make them ADA compliant is causing the, building to be a little bit bigger. So we wanted to get a setback to address that issue.
Okay.
Madam Chair, motion, I have a motion to approve, granting the variance, subject to comments.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes.
Mr. Martinez, there's your famous grid.
There's my grid. Well, but that's old.
9G, preliminary consideration of the plat of Harmony Hills subdivision, Phase 3 at Rodriguez Ranch. The intent is residential.
Yes, ma'am. Madam Chair, the applicant is Rodriguez Certuche, engineers Howland Engineering, and the proposed use is single family. The current zoning is R1A. Location view, aerial view, the proposed plat, stock comments planning, comments 1 through 4, parks and fire, traffic safety, and the proposed motion.
Thank you.
Good evening. For the record, my name is Aaron Gonzalez, an engineer with Howland Engineering. I asked that traffic comment number 1 regarding the block lengths, I asked that one be removed. I had to look into what she was referring to with this comment, but I believe she's referring to the block along the south end. It would be block number 10, if we can pull that up. Yeah, I'm pretty sure she's referring to block 10, which is the south distance. That's 1,400 feet. It says block length is 1,200 feet. We've seen this in industrial subdivisions where the blocks exceed over 2,000-3,000 feet. We're familiar with this ordinance. Just about every plat we submit, it's a pretty common comment of hers that she puts it on almost everything. Like I said, we've done it in industrial subdivisions. We've seen it like in Beltway, and you've seen it like in the North Web industrial subdivisions as well, where those blocks far exceed that. We feel that this one being 1,400 as opposed to the limit 1,200, so we ask that this one be scratched, just, for, given its connection with the existing subdivision around it. We're not really proposing a new subdivision. It's kind of finishing off Journey Loop and the phase above it as well. So we ask that one comment be scratched. We're fine with all the other comments. That's the only one that we want to have scratched.
Okay.
Madam Chair,
What are the
any-
wishes of the commission?
just to check, any comments from staff? Do you guys have any comments about that, about the 1,200?
Really? No. No.
Okay, you're fine with it?
No, they got the intersection.
Okay.
I went through the other traffic comments. I'm not sure if they're just like copy and paste. Because the other 3 comments, I don't see where she's getting them from. We do meet the 90 degrees on the L shape. It's between 72 to 120. We meet 90 exactly. The intersections do curve at right angles. And I don't know what she means by number 4, but yeah.
I guess I wanted to just add, and I know we hear this quite a bit, we do make every effort to put this packet out the Friday before this meeting, so, we just wanted to encourage anybody that has any questions, that you feel free to approach staff.
Yeah.
Give her a call. I know everybody's doors are open.
Yeah.
If you have questions, I'm sure any staff member would be happy to meet with you.
Yeah.
To clarify or provide any, expound on anything that you were unclear with.
Yeah, I've spoken with engineering and traffic on this a lot in previous projects. It's just that if it doesn't get scratched here, since we don't have a traffic director, it has to go through city engineering, and that takes, to meet the city engineer, it takes weeks. So that's why, that's the only reason I bring it up. If not, I would have done the comments
I
like
guess
we always do.
when you mentioned, I don't know what she's referring to, you might
Oh,
wanna, you could
yeah.
call her and
Oh,
ask her.
yeah.
You know, like, what are you
yeah.
referring to?
And
You know?
typically when I do call traffic, when I call her, she's like, oh, I'm citing ordinance. Just make sure you follow it. I get that, but don't put the comment unless you think it's an actual concern. Like, if you genuinely think it's a concern, put the comment, but don't cite ordinance. We know ordinance. So, I mean, for the most part. So that's like my one thing. But other than that, like, I don't want to talk down to anybody. No, I know her door's open. I know everyone's great. I have no issue with that. I just find it surprising because I didn't get a hold of her this week. I didn't, to be honest. I typically do, but I didn't get a hold of her this week. But I like to do my own research before I bother people, and I didn't see. But that's fine. If that's really how she feels, I won't strike.
Madam Chair, motion to pass 9G, removing item number 1 and knocking off the traffic comments.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And if no objections or comments, can I have
Wait.
a motion?
Which item are you removing? Which item are you removing?
Just, remove the number 1, right?
Yeah.
Provide a plate note prohibiting access to the future extension of Simon Boulevard for the double
Planning.
frontage lots of blocks 10 pursuant to section 3.3D of the subdivision ordinance.
You're asking to remove?
Right?
The
The
planning
traffic
comment?
Traffic.
The traffic, yeah, the traffic, the traffic.
Number 1.
Oh,
Not
yeah.
the planning.
Not the planning.
Okay,
The traffic.
then subject to staff recommendation and then removing the traffic comments.
Yes, traffic comment, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
As amended.
Do we have a second?
Second, so whoever.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. If no objections or comments, can I have a motion to take items 10A, 10B, 10C together?
As motion.
11.
And 11.
Oh, no.
No,
Oh,
no.
that's staff report.
So
All in
moved.
favor?
So move, yeah.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Can you read them, please?
Yes. For the record, 10A, final consideration of the plat of lots 6 through 8, Block 4, North America Industrial Park, Phase 2, into Lot 6A, Block 4, North America Industrial Park, Phase 2. The purpose of this replat is to reconfigure lots 6 through 8, Block 4, into Lot 6A, Block 4. The intent is industrial. 10B, the final consideration of the plat of Lot B-8E, Tranquecitos Partnership, 2 subdivision, the intent is residential. 10C, final consideration of the plat of Lot 1, Block 1, Riverside International Parking, the intent is a parking lot. That's it. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Was it taken? Can I have a motion to approve items?
Motion to approve items 10A, 10B, 10C, and
That's it.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. 11A,
What's that? Staff?
staff reports regarding the cancellation of the second Planning and Zoning Commission meeting in December 2026, scheduled for December 17, 2026.
Madam Chair, if you recall, this was a directive from the
From us?
commission
Yeah.
to review and investigate if this can be accommodated to cancel the second meeting. So we've done a good amount of work on this thing, and we think we have some good news. So with that, I'm gonna go ahead and allow
So just
Rafael to take
to give you a little background, so we have our planning and zoning commissions twice a month, primarily to comply with state law on how much time the commission has to take an action on a plat. I mean, that's the emphasis on that. That's why we have those 2 meetings. There's been a lot of discussion to analyze the month of December. It's very difficult to get a quorum during the Christmas holidays. So we pulled up the calendar as to how we could possibly accommodate the commission, but then as well as comply with the state law, which is what's called the shot clock and the 30-day time limit that we have for, and we kind of came up with a schedule where we could potentially have one planning and zoning commission meeting during the month of December, but it would be looking at December the 10th, mid-month. So, that would also be having the meeting on the 10th and also adjusting the submittal date for the engineers. So it would give them a little bit more time to submit, but it would also put it mid-month, so it's not right up to the holidays, the 24th, the 5th, the Christmas holidays. So we'd be looking at, now, the one caveat though is if we were to schedule that one meeting, we would have to have that meeting. That's the only thing, because then we would have too much of a gap. So we would have to assure ourselves,
If it didn't happen, we'd have to have a special meeting.
yeah,
So that's how we would address it.
I really think that we could put it off,
Mm-hmm.
because it's before the 20th, because after the 20th, everybody is on, gone, or with family, or with this, and we don't want not to show up for quorum, like
Right.
last time, right?
That's bad.
I know everybody puts their 2 cents in, and you guys work so hard for it, and not to be able to have the meeting, well, it's not an issue, it's
And
not
the
an option.
applicants, they work hard on it, submitting and
Sí,
getting
también.
everything all
So-
their work done.
I
So-
think they would be willing to do it.
okay. So
Yeah,
for,
sounds good.
okay, so just one thing though. So the December 10th is a Thursday. Now, what we would do though is officially bring back an item to you for your consideration to officially set that date, because it's just for discussion today. But officially set the date of the meeting and to officially set the date of the submittal for the engineers. We would need to bring that back as an actual item.
Same time?
Notifying the public and all that, so.
Same time, 6 or?
6 o'clock,
Okay.
6 o'clock. So,
But we would update the calendar, so
All the postings,
with your
everything.
action.
Yeah.
okay.
So that way we can give everybody 6 months of notice,
Yes.
this meeting cannot happen.
I think that would.
Okay.
Thank you.
I'd like to make a motion though, right now, to excuse Mr. Martinez's previous absence from the last meeting and today's absence from Mr. Garcia, since he's not here today.
Oh. Thank you.
Can we,
All in-
can we do this?
Aye.
We're doing it.
For protective.
All right.
Fine. Okay,
Okay.
I guess.
Okay, so we'll bring that item back.
Motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn?
Motion
All
to
in favor?
adjourn. Aye.
Aye.
To adjourn the
George,